Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. We hear the numbers all the time, the coronavirus numbers, and it doesn't necessarily sink in until someone you know gets it. Someone I know got it, and so did her whole family. And this is just the craziest story. Now, you may remember her, Molly Grantham. Like to welcome her in. She is an anchor at WBTV in Charlotte, North Carolina, but she used to be at WLEX, LEX 18. In fact, she helped me get my job here. So
I
forever grateful
forgot
for
that, Mary Jo.
that. So welcome in, Molly. Thanks for being here.
It's so good to see your face. It's so good to see your face.
It's
LEX 18 is like fabric of my life, right? So big history.
It really, truly is. But you posted on Facebook something the other day that started with 5 words: "Our whole family has COVID." Now, I want to back this up. You just had a baby, what, 3 weeks ago?
Yes, he's 22 days old now, 23 days old now. Yes.
Congratulations on the baby.
Yeah.
That enough during this time of coronavirus can be stressful and crazy. Talk about the story of just how you found out everybody's got it.
Everybody has it. So when I went into the hospital with my husband, I got tested the day we went into labor and it was negative. And so they assumed the guest you're bringing to the hospital is negative as well. So we knew we were fine. All of a sudden we got back from the hospital when Hobie was 2.5 days old. There was no symptoms at the time. We didn't think anything of it. Everybody had been negative. We were celebrating the birth of our new baby boy. And by day 3 or 4, I kind of muddles together, but my 9-year-old started having just sore throat and ears popping when she swallowed, allergy-like symptoms, nothing that you would normally raise eyebrows at. But because I was so COVID sensitive from being from the hospital, and all the restrictions they have and all the things they tell you when you're leaving, I got a little paranoid and the in-laws left and took them to the pediatrician to get tested. And turns out she was positive. She got tested on a Saturday morning, and by Saturday night, we didn't have the results yet, but she was very, very sick, 9 years old, sweating profusely all through the night, hair matted back, wanting nauseous to throw up, just a lot of symptoms of things that seemed like a normal bad stomach bug. But turns out when the test came back 3 or 4 days later, we realized definitely was COVID. And by that point, we'd all been kissing on the baby and loving on each other and realized that we all had it. The 2 boys, the 5-year-old boy and the baby, were presumptively positive. Both were tested, came back negative, but the doctors said for sure, assume they have it. And then the 5-year-old ended up getting symptoms a week later. And the newborn, is going to be okay. I think we're all going to be okay, but had a lot of congestion and still does. And I actually got pneumonia from it. So I just wrapped up the antibiotics for that. We're all going to be okay is the end game of all of this, but it has been a crazy, crazy 3 weeks.
And because we don't know about babies and COVID, we just don't know a lot about COVID, period, but especially in babies, that had to be scary, to say the least.
Yeah, it was really scary watching him breathe, because I don't know what I'm looking for. And they had told me when he was 10 days old, he got tested. The nurse practitioner that tested Hobie at 10 days old at the time said, and it was a rapid test. So at that point, they were very worried about our family. So she said, it's a rapid test, it's come back negative, but we're presuming he's positive. I need you to really watch his breath at night and look to see if his rib cage goes up and down, which is what you want, as opposed to out on the sides. Right? So he's like 8.5 pounds at this point. And I mean, Mary Jo, I'm just looking at his breath all night long, trying to see if the stomach's going up and down versus in and out, which you can kind of laugh about now because we're all okay. But in the moments at 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning, it was frightening. It was frightening.
Yeah, because to me, that would look the same. Just what is the difference?
Right.
Well, Molly, we are so thankful that you guys are all on the mend, that you're going to be okay. Do you worry, though, about what lasting impacts that we don't know about yet? I don't want to talk about the fear and all that, but are you worried? Do you think about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not focusing on the fear of it at all. I think that's a really true thing. There's a lot of studies out there now about long-term effects that just aren't known. And even in the information that I got, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, what I was reporting on 2 months ago, what I was storytelling about other people 3 months ago has changed to today. And so what we don't know by the end of this year, we don't know. And so it's not that I'm staying up at night over it and I'm not, sweating profusely over what might happen. I'm aware of it. I kind of think we'll cross that bridge when we get there. A little bit more concerned for Hobie because he is so young and there's nothing to compare it to. We have medical records for the 5 and 9-year-old, and of course Wes and myself, but we don't know what he was. There's no basis for him. So I think about that a little more. But I just am not going to sweat it right now because we can't.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Hey, Molly, we're so glad that you guys are all going to be okay. Thank you so much for doing this. We miss you here in Lexington. We followed your career in North Carolina, and you are amazing. So I just want to say thank you, and I'm so privileged that you came on today.
Our whole family loves, obviously, Kentucky and LEX18. We have a lot of history there. So love you, Mary Jo, and it's great to see you.
Love you too. Thank you. Much more Hey Kentucky right after this.